Today, we are going to have a session on inquiry-based teaching. Welcome teachers for our new session. What can you see in the picture? Some children are sitting there, they are discussing something, they have a board in the center, they are writing something on it, they are trying to collect some information, they are discussing it, and they are trying to present something new. So, in inquiry-based teaching, it is in education, it is the student-centered approach. Educational student-centered approach it is. Learners are actively involved in discovering and constructing their knowledge. How do they do that? By asking questions, by researching, by having the hands-on exploration and reflection fulfilling their natural curiosity. Each and everyone is curious how this is happening, how it could have been done, what will happen next, why. They ask you the questions, most of them why. So to fulfill this natural curiosity, what you ask them or train them to find out the information by themselves. So based on John Dewey's philosophy, education begins with the curiosity of the learner. Unless and until the student is not interested, the student will not learn. The learner needs to be interested, and you as a teacher has to create that interest, that enthusiasm in them, make them active in certain things. So how can you do that? By inquiring, asking them to give them some kind of a responsibility. When you give them the responsibility, they will do it. So in inquiry based learning in classroom places the in the classroom it places the essential role. You are giving them the responsibility to do some kind of a task. So learning happens over there. So encourage them to arrive at an understanding of concepts by themselves. So what they acquire at the end, what is the goal at the end? They arrive at an understanding of a concept, that then they get clarity in the concept, what they have learned, how it was done, why it was done. So it is good for retaining for a longer duration of time compared to the rote learning. Here we understand the 5 E's, that engaging, exploring, exchanging, explaining, elaborating and evaluating. You're engaging the student all the time. You're giving them a topic, and you are involving them in certain activities. So they're getting engaged. They are getting like the mind is they're diverted to do that particular thing. So you're keeping them engaged. They are finding out the information, so exploring the ideas, exchanging when they talk with their peers or when they are talking with the teacher, they're trying to develop. So exchanging their ideas, explaining, you are training them to explain the concept. At the same time, they should be able to explain whatever they have learned. Same thing, you need to explain them how to go about that. How could they present themselves in a better manner? Whatever the information they have collected. Elaborating. Elaborating plays an essential role. So when they are explaining, they are elaborating the particular topic till for a longer period of time. When they are elaborating the topic, what they are trying to do, they are giving the facts, they are giving the evidence, they are giving you the examples based on the particular topic. Then evaluation is the process where they have a self evaluation, peer evaluation, and teacher is evaluating them based on whatever they have presented, however they have created the content. What are the pillars of it? Asking, investigating, creating, discussing, reflecting. So, what are they trying to ask? How they are going to ask? Which are the ways to ask? You are training them for that. Investigating. What are they going to investigate? How are they going to investigate? What are they trying to present? What is the fact and the evidence for whatever they have presented? What are the examples that they can have? What they can create? They can create a story, they can create a project, they can do a presentation, they can make a skit play, so they can have like They can create some form of experiment. They can create in a form of a project book, or it could be in a form of a book. So how discuss whatever they are trying to do. You need to discuss with them all the time. They have to discuss with their peers and the people around them to collect the information and try to resolve the problem that they are having. And final output of the product. Once the output is done, the product is being presented, or any kind of the project they have presented. What is their reflection? How was their experience during that process? Plays essential role. What kind of activities you can give them? You can give them the activities like self-directed curriculum, community-based projects you can give them. You're using like whoever the community helpers are there in the premises. With that help, they are creating some kind of the project, or some kind of activities where all they are trying to become those kind of community helpers. They can become, and they are presenting it. They can become an admin. They can become, say, uh, a receptionist, or they can become some hospital attendee. So different kind of roles they can present themselves in this community based projects. Construction activities you can have. You can give them to construct something. They can create something in science. It could be in maths. They could be, so constructing activities you can give them. Facts, deconstructing facts. You're making the students to deconstruct the facts. Whatever the facts have been given to them, they're trying to recreate it in a new form. They're trying to find out more information. They're trying to deconstruct what was the original fact and trying to present a better new fact. So divergent thinking means how they can think differently. How can you present it differently? In different ways, how the approaches can be possible. So different approaches. So you're making them think in all the directions. Just they are not thinking on one particular ground. And you are presenting the facts and evidence based on it. So divergent thinking. Collecting resources. They are collecting the resources all the time. The new methods are being created. Innovations are being done accordingly. You are trying to sort out your problems. What are the ways and the challenges you face? How did you try to overcome those challenges? Plays essential role. Concept mapping plays this again important role. How they are going to frame the concept in form of a map. Maybe they are using the map, they're using the smart art, or they can use the graph for it. So different ways you're using to present your concept map, like how the process is being formed. Then brainstorming ideas to think in a different manner. How should be thought and in what way they are supposed to think. So brainstorming ideas can be applicable, or activities based on that can be applicable. Then objectives. What are the objectives that they are trying to achieve? The thinking skills, the problem solving skills, cognitive skills, dealing with the real life situations and the challenges. So these are the different ways they can have those. Creativity in learning. How are they creative? In what form are they creative? How they are presenting? How they are having the art integration with it? In the real situations, how they are trying to apply that? How challenges can be overcome in a very short duration of time using the critical thinking, using the cognitive skills, making something in a very different way, in a unique form, is a creative aspect. It could be in a form of a writing, or it could be in a form of a art or craft, or when you are integrating it with other subjects, maybe sports and all. So that creativity will be seen. What kind of methods we used in inquiry-based teaching? You can use a deduction method, induction method, abduction method, hypothetical deductive approaches can be done, multiple working hypothesis can be used, mixed word methods research can be used, practitioner inquiry or action research can be used, art-based research can be used. What are the steps that you can acquire? That is orientation or observation, question or conceptualize, investigation, conclusion, discussion and sharing. So your orientation takes place in the topic, observing the topic, You are observing certain things. You are asking them to observe. They are framing questions based on those observing skills, or they are trying to collect more information and facts based on those observations of theirs. Trying to question. They are asking different questions based on it. Trying to conceptualize the thing. They are trying to find out the different ideas for it. Investigation. They are investigating all the time. Conclusion. They are concluding the topic. Discussion and sharing. They are discussing the topic all the time. They are sharing the information all the time. So, orientation and observation, question and conceptualize, investigation, conclusion, discussion and sharing with everybody. Those are the steps that they have to follow. You need to train them for the same. They have to follow these steps to acquire them. Learning outcome, what would they learn out of it? Enhanced skill, each and every one would be enhanced with different skills. They are becoming more creative, they are becoming effective communicators. So effective because they are asking the questions all the time, they are collecting the data, they are trying to present themselves all the time, they are discussing. So they have to be an effective orator or a communicator, right? So they are acquiring that kind of a skill. New knowledge and new innovations have been done. Work collaboratively. They are working together collaboratively, demonstrate interconnectedness. They are connected to each other. They are demonstrating it every time, each moment and all. Give students autonomy. They are giving the autonomy to the students. Provide authentic differentiation. So they are giving what? Differentiation. Authentic differentiation is they are more reliable. They are more authentic. They have the authority back because they are presenting the evidence and the facts. They are trying to give you the truth. They are trying to bring out the new thing around there. The, so all these processes are involved. What are the principles that they need to follow? That is realistic goal setting and goal tracking, time and priority management. So they are acquiring the skill, they are developing this realistic goal setting and the goal tracking. Time priority management, the management of the time is appropriate. What time they may start, what time it may finish. So time and priority management, information gathering, filtering and integration. They're collecting all the information around them. They're gathering that information, trying to filter that information and integrating. What are they integrating? They're integrating the art, they are integrating craft, they're integrating different subjects, they are involving different people, so the different ideas. So all that is being integrated. Critical thinking, they think in a very different way. They are by asking questions. Is this right? Is this wrong? How should be the approach of it? What are the facts behind it? What is the reality behind it? So trying to know that. Communication of ideas and learning. You are trying to communicate the idea in an effective manner. You're learning all the time when you are doing this certain kind of a collection of information, or when you are reading all the time. What are you doing? All the time you are reading something or the another to acquire the skill. So communication of ideas and learning, self-assessment and reflection. So what are they reflecting? They are self-reflecting is the thing. Like whatever they have presented, they're assessing themselves. What went right? What went wrong? How it could have been better? How would they have been done it? And reflecting it. Role of a teacher. They're trying to elicit learners' question, asking right question, guiding the learner to think differently. So what they're trying to develop? They're developing, eliciting the learner's question, learning all the time, asking the right question. You're teaching them how to ask a question. What is the right way to ask a question? Then guiding the learner to think differently. You're teaching them how to work together, how to think differently, how the process can take place. If it is in a process is followed in a different method, then what could have been achieved? So you are trying to make them think accordingly. You are the one who will try to find out more information by eliciting the learner's question. Like what kind of a question can be elicited? In what way it could have been better? Or what information the student has collected? What is stopping him to move ahead? What is not making him do certain thing in a speed? So you are trying to find out in a form of a detailing. You're teaching them how to detail the information. You're training them to find out the minute observations that they can have, making a recording of those minute observations. And then you are asking a right question based on it, providing the facts, evidence, and presenting in a different form. There is a small quiz for you all. You can just take a link, take down this link and take a little time of yours to fill this form. Thank you teachers for giving me the opportunity to present. Thank you Matthew sir to give me the opportunity to give me the floor to present. Thank you all of you for giving me the time.